I've made over 60 videos on here, but somehow it feels like we haven't met yet. So, hi, I'm Nathan. I am calling this the reintroduction because I've talked a lot about my life and my experiences through these little vignettes of self-improvement over the past few years. I've talked about stoicism. I've talked about growing my hair out. I've talked about my baby and my job and all of the big things in my life, but I've never really told you who I am. Welcome to the life of Nathan. Here's why I do this. As I'm sure you can tell by all of the baby toys that are around, I have a daughter, and she's the most important thing in my life. She's turning 1 pretty soon, which is crazy, and when she was born last October, things really started to change in my life. See, ever since college, I was trying to find my purpose. I was homeschooled all the way up through 12th grade, which gave me a perspective of being in control of my own life, my own schedule, not working for someone else. So coping with the environment of a classroom and a job was a challenge and not something I was looking forward to for the rest of my life. So I went down plenty of self-help and entrepreneurship and being your own boss rabbit holes in college, only to end up in a corporate job 4 years later. And what I found out is that it wasn't so bad. I had plenty of free time in a way I never had before. That free time gave me the opportunity to start exploring what was important to me, and that's when I started back up with making videos and being creative. See, I've always been kind of a creative person. When I was 10 years old, I picked up my dad's camcorder for the first time and just started filming videos about our Sonic plushes, our Bionicle figures, pretty much any toys we were playing with, and made hours and hours of video that never saw the light of day outside of my brothers and I watching them. But then college came around and I had to think about my real life and what I was actually going to do, and I stopped making videos until I got my first job and realized I had time to add that hobby back into my life, and creativity was something that I was lacking. And so I started doing this again. I started talking to a camera and filming myself throughout my day, but the problem was that my intentions were wrong. I was still looking at YouTube and creativity through the lens of that entrepreneurship. The idea was that I still wanted to be my own boss someday. And now I've kind of given up on that dream. Because the reality is, talking about self-improvement and going on and on about ways to make your life better and stoicism, as much as I needed to hear that type of content for myself to upgrade my own mindset, it's not what I enjoyed talking about. So instead, I spent hundreds of hours making videos that I didn't really enjoy, and then I burnt out. And that is when we enter Act 3. Which is what we're currently in now, when I rediscovered my love of filmmaking. So about a year ago, a couple of pretty major changes happened in our lives. First was we moved from the East Coast out to the middle of the desert for my wife's work, and moved away from all of my family and friends out to somewhere where I knew nobody. Second, our first dog, Wallace, passed away unexpectedly in what was probably the hardest period of our lives. And third, our daughter was born. So a lot happened in the span of just a few months. And through it all, I was kind of trying to cope with those changes, but also had this distinct feeling of wanting to document everything. Especially once Wallace passed away, I just didn't want to forget any moments with him. So I started writing everything down. I started taking videos again, and that turned into a daily vlog. Now, if you've seen any of my shorts, I take 30, 40, 50 video clips throughout the day, throw them all together with a quick voiceover about what I did that way, and that's my way of documenting my life. But what's different about this act compared to last time when I tried to get on YouTube and burned out is that I'm not doing this for anyone else. There's no end goal for me creating. There's no attachment to the metrics. There's no idea that this will ever turn into anything other than me just talking to a camera, because I finally found the type of art that fulfills me. See, doing the daily vlog isn't to make content or to get my life out there. It's because I like looking back on my days through the video format to see how I spent my time, remember all of the great moments with my wife and daughter, and I love having that archive to go back and see what I was doing 200 days ago or on our last vacation just to relive those memories. In short, documenting my life helps me be more mindful about the way I'm living and has honestly helped me transform the way I live from kind of a disorganized, disjointed schedule to something that really works for me and allows me to do everything I enjoy on a daily basis, despite being busier than I've ever been. So for once, the art, the creativity, that's just for me to express myself, regardless of who else watches. But at the same time, I'm proud of the life I've built. I'm proud of the consistency that I keep up with exercise and watching after my health, reading, creating, all of the things that are important to me that take that daily discipline and focus to make sure I fit them in, all outside of being a parent and my day job, and just the way that I've learned to live mindfully and in the present instead of always thinking about the future or what my next steps are. Because I have that life I'm proud of, I want to share it just in case it helps anybody else out there. So that's me. That's my life story. That's why I've attempted this whole YouTube thing on a few different occasions and where I am currently at. But enough of the serious stuff. Let's talk about some fun facts. So the first fun fact, as you may know if you've watched any of my daily vlogs, is that I keep to the same schedule almost every single day of 4 a.m. to 9:30 or 10 p.m. I love those early morning hours, and getting up early just gives me that time I need to be able to exercise, edit the vlog, and take care of the things that make me happy before I go spend the rest of my day being a parent and working for the people that I work with. And speaking of work, I am currently a manager at a marketing company. So we do both affiliate and performance marketing. And so basically we help clients get their products out to the world and make their businesses more successful. I also run every single day. As of right now, I'm on an over 100-day run streak, which is kind of unintentional. If I'm traveling like I will be later this month, I'll probably break the streak, which is fine. It's not about the numbers. It's just about that consistency of having something that clears my head whenever I can fit it into my schedule. What else? Mindful living is something that's incredibly important to me. The more present I can be, the better I feel, and that's always been the case. I have been journaling since I was 12 years old, and it's a habit I've kept up almost daily since then. And that was kind of really where the start of all of this reflection and creativity came from. The last fun fact about me is that my music taste is anything but calm. Despite my persona and the way I try to live my life, I love punk music. Like hardcore, fast, heavy drums and guitars, that's my scene. And though I'm a pretty calm person most of the time, if you find me in the pit of a basement show, better watch out. I also collect cassettes. Unlike a lot of people in the self-improvement space, I am nowhere near a minimalist, and I love to keep keepsakes of things that are important to me. Cassettes are one great way to do that because, to be honest, I just can't be bothered to keep up with a record collection, but cassettes are the perfect little mementos from all the concerts I've been to and the bands I've gotten to see. So that's me. This is my life. This is the world according to Nathan. This is how I approach mindful living, why I do it, and why I share my stories on the internet. Maybe you've learned something about me, maybe you haven't, but I've been doing this whole YouTube thing for years of my life now. I've gone through 3 different acts of reinventing myself in the creative space, and I've finally come to a place where it's sustainable and fulfills me, and that's something I'm proud of. Thanks for being here.